How's it going, guys? I'm Eli from Far.s Coffee, LexFarmsCoffee.com, Far.s Coffee on YouTube, Farms 2010 on Instagram, and Farms Coffee on Facebook. Tonight my dad was sick for a little bit, so we're getting off to a little bit of a late start because he was sleeping. But he's over there making himself a coffee. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking a washed Periodema. That's awesome, just like me.
Okay. Tonight we're just going to be going into a little more detail about Yano and just some details about this week. Yano is the place where we dry coffee. You could call it sort of a microclimate. When it's cold here, you might wear a jacket in the morning, but you're going to take it off when you get to Yano. It's almost always hot there. It's almost the perfect place for drying coffee. It's pretty flat, hot, a little bit of wind. Perfect coffee drying conditions.
Yeah, it's crazy. Julia drove down with me today, and it was the same thing. She was doing payroll when we left. Everybody here gets paid every Saturday in cash. Bank accounts are rare. We do make our guys have a bank account just to help them save money and stuff. But Julia got through doing payroll. She had on a T-shirt and a long sleeve shirt, and halfway to Yano, she had to take off the long sleeve shirt, and you have to drink water. Definitely, I think I got dehydrated yesterday, and we went out there and there wasn't enough help, and we had 3 lots that were dried all at the same time, and so we're out there dragging bags, and it was just going crazy. And I was there like 2 hours and didn't have any water and got to feeling bad. But a couple of days ago, I had to go to town to get water because we weren't planning on being there that long, and Pepsi. And it takes 25 minutes to drive to town. And so it's just a crazy slow road, and you're having to drive if you look it up, it's called Isuzu NQR. So it's a pretty decent size, cab over truck. So you don't just jump in that and zip to town. It's like this giant turtle, just, meandering into town. So it takes a while to do anything. But today we went there, and Pedro thought that there was a lot drying, but by the time we got there, the guys here took their sweet time loading up, and they all wanted to get paid before they left. And by the time we got there, the coffee was a point below where we like it. So we'll have that coffee cupped. If it's not just perfect, then then that'll be what we use for flavoring. So it's not ideal. We like it to be 12.5. And so today it was 11.1. So we'll wait 48 hours. Right now, the bags are in the bodega, and they're standing straight up, and they're open, letting the heat out of them so that we can test them again. And so the moisture will change somewhat. So they'll pick up a little more moisture than what it is. If it's 11.5, I'm not too worried about it. Anybody that wants to hop on, talk about anything at all, let us know. But mainly, one of our biggest struggles here is the fact that, Jonathan's driving this year, and he's pretty confident. Julia drives some, but normally I'm the only person that drives. So it's a struggle to try to get places, do stuff. So I take the guys in. First, I bring the guys in, try to get here by 7:40. My guys are Florida. They are horribly slow getting out of bed. They are the worst group, but they're the only group we could find this year. Jonathan zips over to Mango, and he picks up a group of just like 8 or 9.
We can just get more people from Mango.
Well, we need to, yeah. If we can, we'll get more. But my group started out like 40, and then they always just dwindle down. As soon as they get some money in their pocket, they start drinking and stuff like that. So it's just an awful group to do. But we, with the rains we had, the road was washed out going to the place where we usually go. And that's a 2-hour drive every morning. So it's a pain to get there and back. And it's a 2.5 hour drive in the afternoon to get home. So I've spent a lot of my time just driving. And so it's a convenience to have Florida to be able to do it. But it is what it is. So today we're trying to get 2 farms finished up and get people paid. And we've got a project going on in the house. We're taking the eave and all out of the house, which is older wood. Some of it's from the 1950s. And we're going to replace that and do some rewiring, put up a few more security lights. And sounds like Jonathan's going for a ride on the 4-wheeler.
Yep.
So we're just trying to get the crop out. So today was the last day of picking. We got done probably 11:30 or 12.
So yeah, that's good.
According to the weather, we'll either start picking I think it's the 11th or the 18th of February. There's a lot of coffee still in the plants.
But it's just all green.
Yeah, it's green. And so it's going to have to, ripen up, turn red. And when that happens, then we'll be able to, start picking again. And then hopefully there'll be another picking sometime the first week in March or something like that and finish the year out. This year's crop is not looking as well as we had hoped it was, as far as how much coffee's on the plants. But there's an incredible amount of farms that have already just given up and picked everything. Leaves have fallen off the plants.
Is there a certain cause for it, or?
I'm not sure, unless it's just malnutrition or something. We changed something up this year, and we did a different fertilizing program. And so if you just look at standing in our farm, you start looking at 2 or 3 of the farms near us, you can see a lot of it have dried up and are not looking that great. So it's anybody's guess if it's something we did right or something they did wrong. But irregardless of the fact that they lost a lot of their crop and we didn't. Now, having said that, our crop could not mature or could have a storm and it falls on the ground. I'm not counting my chickens or counting my eggs or whatever.
Before they hatch or something?
Yeah, before they hatch. We're praying that it all goes well.
Oh, yeah.
But the Llano has sort of been a blessing. We had 3 what we call solar dryers. They're giant greenhouses. So that's how we used to, in the bad weather, depend on those to dry the coffee. So now we're taking it out to Llano, which is 42-minute drive. And it's really difficult to do because when Pedro says the coffee's ready, we need to get out there pretty quick. So, but it works out better because it's just really dry and hot. So last year, we took the beds out of one of the solar dryers and made it into a big shop where we park the trucks. Now, Jonathan and Eli just started today changing solar 3 into what's going to become
a new storage shed.
Yeah, just a storage shed. But it's
taking down all the old nylon.
Yeah, I think it's 12 foot wide or 13 foot wide, 19 foot long.
Yeah,
so it's definitely not the biggest one. The other one's like 48 feet long by 24 foot wide. And it's really tall. It had 5 beds high in it.
Oh, solar 1?
Solar 1. The solar 3 is 4 beds high in the center and 3 beds on each side. So it drives a lot of coffee. But we're going to finish up the metal roof next week, and then we'll put metal sides on it. It'll be a bodega this year, but next year we'll actually we'll convert it into 2 apartments. So hopefully when you guys come and visit us, then we'll have some apartments. We already have one.
We have one, 2-bed, 1 bathroom, I think, apartment so far.
We'll build another one.
And then we'll build one.
We're currently building one up at the top of the project.
Oh, yeah. And then we're building another one at the top of the project. And then if we can get those 2, we'll play. And if we really don't have space, we'll put you in a tent.
We can do the tent, and also the library is set up for people to stay in the library. It's got chains hanging out of the wall so we can hang hammocks. The big church building would sleep, 60 or 70 people if you just had sleeping bags or cots or something like that. So, yeah. And there's plenty of bathrooms with showers. I have my private bathroom here in the lab. We're going to add on and put a shower onto that.
It doesn't make much sense. Actually, it would be pretty nice. The temp, that'd be pretty nice.
Yeah, the one thing we're thinking about is we've got a group coming up in July. It's going to be a lot of guys. And we have Lot 7 campground.
It's a nice, really flat place just in the middle of the farm. Have to carry some stuff there, but it'd be a nice place.
Pretty secluded. Yeah, we're thinking about building just a little tiny pavilion there, and then having some of these groups bring up a little, and most of the groups, when they come, they leave that stuff behind. I was out in the apartment the other night looking for some stuff and organizing, because we got some people coming up to visit on the 28th. And just the stuff I found was, pretty cool, So I stole a little bitty tiny thing, a scope to keep in the truck. But yeah, they're pretty good about leaving stuff behind. And then there's the group. They took everything that they brought, they took it with them. And then we've even missed some sheets a time or two, and so you have different groups coming. But no, we're really gearing things towards it being a little more touristy and having, what everybody wants. We've got Wi-Fi run to all the buildings here, and so everything's covered with Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Richard was asking a question. It's more like up on a hill, but it's got like more of like a flat top. So it's a little bit of a plateau.
Yeah, we're sitting at the top of a valley. The valley's and we always have a wind blowing up at us. Nothing major, but there's always a good breeze going.
Which is nice.
But we're on the top of the mountain. There's about there's a little mountain above us that's maybe 200 foot more, and then you drive up and up and up until you get to us, and then at that point you drive down and down and down. I think we're about that Llano. We're about 2,000 feet higher than Llano, but where we're sitting right now is a mile high.
I think he was asking about like a Lot 7 camp.
The whole farm is sort of hills and little valleys, but yeah, where the Lot 7 is just it's 50 meters squared. It's just nice and flat, which is sort of unusual here in the farm.
Yeah.
And it's in the middle of a cotton patch. It's in the middle of a coffee patch. And so we were lazy a little bit. The last time we went camping, I took the gas stove up with us.
But we stayed there for like 3 days.
Yeah, we stayed there for 3 days. We had Bahitio and the group go up ahead of us and cut all the grass. And then they cut a big pile of sticks. So we stayed there for 3 days and just camped out and farted around and explored.
And one night we just dumped like a bunch of dried banana leaves onto the fire. It got like 12 feet tall or something.
Yeah, we figured out banana leaves are very flammable.
Yes, but they burn up very quickly.
Yeah, they burn up pretty quick. But
that was fun.
I think just that anytime you put a group of guys together, they're going to find what burns and what doesn't.
Yeah, they're going to do something dangerous eventually.
I'm not going to try to see if my bread burns because it's too good to eat. But no, we always go up there with a pack of hot dogs and try s'mores and stuff like that. And so
fireworks.
I think somebody shot a bomb rocket. But on March the 2nd, we're going to have an event here. We were starting out celebrating the fact that there's 29 days in February, but we've got a couple guys coming up from the States, and I forget where they're coming from. Oklahoma or Tennessee, somewhere. We got a group from Oregon coming in July. Got a group from Tennessee coming in July. But February, there's a couple people coming. He's a dentist, and we're talking more about the dental clinic side. So
yeah, that'll be nice.
We'd already scheduled a kids' day, and so we're planning on over 100 kids on March the 2nd. We're definitely going to do a live cast.
Probably like from the phone or something.
Well, we've got some 30 massive bottle rockets.
So, hey, fireworks show.
So we're going to have a whole bunch of Pepsi, a couple hundred bags of chips, I thought about ice cream, but boy, that'd be
We
a
could get the
nightmare
ice cream
trying
guy. That guy sometimes.
Yeah, we
finds
might
out.
get the little ice cream guy to come by and sell us ice cream. We could probably just buy the whole thing.
Yeah, that's what we did last time.
When
Yeah,
we're doing,
pretty good.
our farm is a little bit bigger than some farms, and we allow people to come in and sell. I don't know what that woman was selling today.
I think it was some of it was like tamales or something because
Oh,
there was
okay.
like little banana leaf wrappers.
Yeah, we'll let people come in, and this lady, I guess today was selling tamales, so she came in, and the workers on payday mainly, but the
Basically.
motorcycle guy, the ice cream guy, drives a motorcycle, and he'll come in every day when they're weighing in, and then he sells to them on credit, and then Saturday he'll sit outside the office door, and as they get paid, they'll pay him.
Yeah, it's like a Lempier for a cone or something.
Oh, it's 5 for a cone and
10 for a cup.
yeah, 10 for a cup. But we don't let him sell the cups anymore. He can only sell the cones.
Oh, because people.
Yeah, because they were just. I mean, you think about 100+ people picking coffee, and then the ice cream guy comes in and is selling everybody those cups. As soon as they're done, they just throw them on the ground. You know, it's just sort of the culture. You talking, Ollie?
What am I supposed to talk about? Yeah, so this week was crazy.
And
So
we
much
didn't even
coffee.
pick that much. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't pick that much, but it was just long days and
A lot of people wouldn't show one day, and so you don't get that you wanted to.
yeah,
And,
it's hard to pay a little bit if they're not.
Paying is a nightmare
Yeah.
because we didn't even have that many people this week, and this is their time of year, and so they'll demand crazy amounts of money. And if they think they've got you over a barrel, then they're going to stick it to you. And so,
What do you mean they'll demand crazy amounts of?
like we needed the guys helping on the house, and so yeah, we never talk about prices, what we pay, and things like that, but they like these guys are getting almost triple what they would get for a normal day's pay because they're saying, well, we could be picking.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
in a couple of days, we didn't do projects because I needed them in there picking. But there's just a couple of young guys that really pick well. And so we had to have 2 of them or 3 of them working today. Miguel and those other 2 guys, they all pick really well.
But that is kind of, I mean, they could be picking and making more money, but there wasn't that much coffee, so.
But they could be picking somewhere else. That's their point.
Oh, okay.
And so, we've had we went up like 30% on what we paid for by the hour, like when they work an hour extra. We had to do quite a bit of that this year. And so payroll today was sort of shocking how little coffee we picked and how much we paid.
Yeah.
I was a little shocked at what it all ended up costing, but it's just sort of the par for the course, and we pray the coffee's good quality and sells well and all that good stuff. But of course, everybody has to get paid. But sometimes it seems like a few of them are being a little greedy. But yeah, it's difficult because Santiago and his family, I just love those guys to death. And then they wouldn't pick for another farmer this year. And right before I left in November, they were talking about how wanting to buy some coffee on credit or buy fertilizer on credit. And so we went in there to look at what fertilizer we had in stock, and I had 70 or 80 bags. And so I said, I'm just going to give it to them. And so I gave both of those guys have their own farms. I gave them both enough to fertilize their farms one time, free of charge. And then when it came time to pick, Pedro's oldest boys wouldn't pick somewhere else.
Really?
And well, they went with Santiago, and Santiago and his entire family for the last 3 weeks have been picking somewhere else. So it hurts a little bit, and it makes me mad. And then Marcos, Marina, Selena, that whole family didn't show up this year to pick. They're picking somewhere else, and they've always got a loan here, and they're always here in the off season when they're looking for work. We always have work for them. But then when we're in crunch time and we need their help, they'll go to these big farms that have, way bigger than us, that'll have 3 weeks of good solid picking. And so, it's very difficult.
Yeah, and I just don't see why Santiago wouldn't come. He's one of our permanent workers, and he'd be making a lot of money.
Well, he should be here just from the permanent worker status.
Yeah.
And then last year we built them showers and bathrooms at their house.
Yeah.
So
And it's just crazy why they won't come.
yeah, but they're very fickle. They're very hot.
It's not like it's a foreign country or anything.
Yeah, but there's definitely a different culture.
Yeah.
That's for sure, and that's hard to swallow sometimes. Hey, are you guys getting us on video or just audio?
Yeah, we need to make sure we have good Wi-Fi.
Yeah, to go up to the next step of Wi-Fi is going to be like an extra $25 a month, and so I hadn't decided what we need to. I'm going to try a cat cable. If you're not getting video right now. You know, I've thought about trying to bring some tamales back. I wonder if we could slip
I've
them
never
through.
tried tamales, I don't think.
If I had somebody here making them, I'd love for Mommy to get together with some of the women to make tamales with like good chicken breast, or some really good meat.
It's frozen.
Oh, but it's frozen. Yeah.
That's
We
just
tried
keeps
moving
happening.
it to, this building is fairly big. We tried moving it a little closer to the house.
Maybe next time we can go like back porch or something.
Yeah, the back porch seems to always work pretty well.
Yeah, and maybe then we'll look at the video.
But we're doing some construction on the house and it's a mess. We're running some new audio, video cables from the house to the different parts of the farm. When we do that, we're going to bring a cat cable out here so that we'll be able to plug the laptop in and go straight to it from there. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a technology guy, so I'm not sure if we were to
Do
swap
that,
things,
work.
if it would work, or if it would make a difference if we just switched over to the phone itself. But
Okay, so it's
never
working
know.
fine now. It's just blurry. So, yeah, we may yeah.
yeah, you never know what works. We have to try it. We'll get it honed in, and so,